dog and get your whole crew up. Ooh, I'm with right now. I got you right now. Nothing. Need a Uber right now. Right now. Need crew love right now. Cause we two up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. First I pull up, hop out. Valet, walk out. All these bands I lost count. Cause I'm two up right now. Two up right now.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see you.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And we get a look at a man in his 4th season already at the controls of the Bucs offense. From Florida State, it's Jameis Winston.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. They go play action here on first down. And that's going to be incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
On second down, Winston again. Drops it to Jones in the flag. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Ready? Black 22.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get him.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Ready?
On 3rd down, Winston. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Michael Bannon with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Winston, the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. This is the former Spartan from San Jose, Tyler Irvin. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And that one blown up quickly. as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. He's got his man. That's Wallace. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. On 1st down, Irvin. And he's got some space here. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. Ajayi, 1st down and more. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jay Ajayi, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they score in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt, because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and just a few inches.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion be like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
They go with Urban to start the drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Wins to throw on second down. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Whitney merciless. In there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long.
Now this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line, and after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. Winston now to throw on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Watson. And he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good time.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Chris Long in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular that you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. A dump underneath to Jones. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And out now come the Eagles. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They start out with a run from Urban, and he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
To throw is Wentz. This complete left side to Aguilar. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, That's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Come on now, come on now. Let's go. Great.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
A second down carry for Irvin. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
And that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Two minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now it's Adam Humphries on the return. And some room to roam now. And great field position coming up as he gets this just shy of the 45, out of bounds at the 44.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Ready. Blue ready. Let's go.
A first down throw for Winston. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Watson. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this. But run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
But he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Mike Bennett in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
Let's go now.
Bennett, of course, a big offseason pickup for the Eagles.
And they love his versatility. He can play defensive end, defensive tackle in obvious pass situations, 9.5 sacks last season in Seattle, and the smallest shoulder pads for a man.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Third and long for Winston. And the pressure gets to him again. Michael Bennett able to disrupt yet another pass play. His third sack of the afternoon. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchdown. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now we have Wentz here, still down on the ground. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
One. Go.
A first throw for the backup Foles. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Now Foles. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
Certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He hits his running back, Jay Ajayi. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Here we go. Go.
There's Foles. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And the kick by Elliott is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end a drive, going to the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
Short boot, taken at the 21. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start things out with a trip up to FedEx Field. Washington playing host to visiting Indianapolis. And it's the Colts who are on top as they've hit halftime. Chester Rogers, a touchdown catch in that first half. From there, we head up to MetLife Stadium to check on the Jets. And that one's gone to the half with them leading the visiting Miami Dolphins. A couple of touchdown passes for Josh McCown. It's a once-again healthy Carson Wentz that's led the way.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because What you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Irvin on the carry, and he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Foles. It's brought in by Jeffrey. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. Good for an Eagles first down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Foles now 4 of 5 since coming on. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. Looking to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Alshon Jeffrey with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Let's go now. Hey, hot. Blue waiting. Where we go?
They'll go again to Jones. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
The Bucs on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Ready. Black.
Working out of the gun. Winston. And Winston lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Pulled in at the 24. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Alshon Jeffrey working his way back out there now to help lead this offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Noah Spence in on the stop.
Let's go.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Right back to Irvin. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. The safety, T.J. Ward, in on the stop.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll drop to throw. Trying to get it to Wheaton, and it's intercepted. Picked up by M.J. Stewart. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Back now in Tampa. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Jameis to throw it. But he's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. And this is going to be incomplete. Dirk Cutter's guys go for it, but come up empty. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage.
Here we go, here we go, here we
The
go.
stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up.
Here we go, here we go.
While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Jay Ajayi, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Evans has it left side. A big play there on the catch and run. 78 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete. One back in the game, that's Jones, 2nd and goal. One receiver to the left is Evans. Now it's the backup Fitzpatrick. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And he knocks it through. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Eagles' hands team able to cover it up. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some space here. 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jay Ajayi, 45 yards. And the Eagles add on to their lead. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Elliott now to kick this one away. Here's Humphreys. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Just get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. A gain of 6 there on first. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Second down, Winston. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jackson. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. First down, Winston. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Evans. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
When Mike Evans sees man coverage, I don't think he's the only guy who gets excited. I'll guarantee the guy throwing the ball does, because guess what? He's got a lot of options about where to place it because of Mike Evans' size and frame.
From the red zone now, Winston drops it to Jones in the flat. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Again, it's Winston. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. And that'll bring up second down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point good by Catanzaro, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes. Get out of there.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.